Hey there everyone, this is Mystic Fish and welcome to episode 11 of our Factorio Space Age series where we're designing self-building mining ships. Last episode we started working on we did a design for the propulsion module at the back of the ship. We're in the process of kind of rearranging the deck chairs here on this version of the ship, but trying to put together something that's a little more modular. And one of our viewers, Golden Red Dragon, pointed out that we actually have the fluids switched here on this. So if you remember, we initially laid this out like this to incorporate the fact that we're going to have, sort of thrusters feeding into each other. In which case, if you look at how this is supposed to be, this pipe here is supposed to be oxidizer. And this one here is supposed to be fuel. This one here. And this doesn't even go the right place. That's good to know. So we had them actually backwards. So what we need is to make this one be the oxidizer. Okay, that gets oxidizer into here, which is what we want. But we need this, and this is why it was a good idea for past Mystic Fish to put all these filters on so we remember what has to go where. That means this needs to be also the iron ore. And then this one needs to be the fuel. And this should be fuel. And then this should be carbon. And then that means carbon needs to go up on the top belt here. So that will be that one. Okay, so now we've got them switched around properly. So that's good. And now we can take these back out. But in order to make this work, we have to connect to the bottom pipes here. So we are going to put these here like this. We'll use undergrounds here just to make sure that we don't get into that one. Okay, so this is actually what we want this to look like. So I'm going to update this blueprint here to grab this stuff. And now we can move on. Okay, good. So let's see. I am going to, well, not that much. I'm going to get rid of this stuff. And I'm going to grab, no, I'm going to just delete it. I'm going to move it down so I have like a little more room up top here. And we'll just put these back in the way they were. Along the sides. It looks like we can do this and that. Okay, good. All right, so what do we, and let's see, I guess we can just do something like this just so we have like a little workspace here. That's fine, we can trim this up when we're done. Okay, so what do we want to do next? So one of the other things that we need to do is I want to move the oil processing stuff that produces the plastic and the lubricant. I kind of want to consolidate it and get it rearranged a little bit. I'm going to rearrange it to be more horizontal instead of vertical here. And that's going to let us do a couple things. One, it will let us, we won't need to pull the sulfur and carbon out here, so that saves a little bit of space around the hub. We won't have to feed calcite into the refinery from the hub, so that also saves space. And then this chem plant here is making water and fuel and oxidizer and sulfuric acid. And I think we can. It'll still maybe need to do the water and sulfuric acid. Maybe it won't have to do the water. I don't know. But actually, I think I don't want it to do the water. I think I just want it to do the sulfuric acid. And I'm going to leave this here, and it's really just because sulfuric acid requires smelted iron plates. And the hub is going to be the main place that we keep track of that stuff. I thought a little bit about, well, we're also going to have a module for the smelting, and could I pick off some iron out of that in order to make sulfuric acid down with the oil processing. And I don't know, maybe we could do that. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to leave sulfuric acid up here. We'll pump the water in, but we can make sulfuric acid up here. And then we'll basically make sulfuric acid and batteries in this thing eventually. And we want batteries for accumulators and potentially laser turrets later. So that will be fun. Okay, so that's what we're doing. We're doing oil processing down here today. Okay, so that requires a refinery. And how do I want this to work? I think I want this to work like this. Simple coal liquefaction. That's good. We're going to have the sulfuric acid, I think, come in from above because we just said we were going to keep making it from up there. Okay. Now, we need, let's see, what are we going to need for crusher stuff? We're going to need a crusher that makes sulfur and carbon because we need to do the coal synthesis. And then we need water for various parts of we'll need water for various parts of, wow, do I have to pump the water up there too? I think I have to pump water up top in order to make that happen. Okay, so I might need to move this over one. Okay, so we'll send sulfuric acid up there. I do need to make water down here somewhere. Now, I think we can do this in the following way. So if we get a crusher down here, it turns out that I looked at if we were just producing plastic, and we look at the ratio of this, right? 2 calcite per 3 ice. This sort of either makes not enough ice to be in ratio with the calcite, or it makes too much calcite, depending on what you want to think about. I prefer to think of it as not enough ice, because we can basically only run this if we need calcite in the refinery. And then if we otherwise need ice, we can do the basic oxide one. So I think that's what we want to do here. And I think we can move this over to this area. Is this where I want this to go? I mean, I suppose I could do this. And then that gives me access to this thing. Okay, and that's going to put calcite in here. We're also going to have pipes over here somewhere. Maybe, I don't know. I want to be able to get water out of here too. Maybe I need to just move this down one. And if I do that, then I can move this guy here, and I can have one here for water. Okay, I think I like this. Okay, good. So there is also a possibility, although I don't really think this is likely to happen, but there's a possibility we could end up, because the advanced recipe is the only way to get the calcite. I suppose it's possible, although I don't think so, but you never know what might go wrong. So it is theoretically possible that I need to get some calcite, but I'm already full of ice, and so I may need to chuck ice overboard. And so we'll work on the circuit conditions for that. Let's see. And then on this side, I think what I want is, how do I want to do this? I could do it this way. Let's get, do I want this? I think I want this. Okay, you're gonna melt ice. All right, good. And that allows us to put this to go here and send the water further up. So that's good. We want that. Okay, we have to do some circuit stuff down here, but let's just get everything laid out first. Okay, next, we know we need to make lubricant. And so we can get the heavy oil through here. We'll try to send the lubricant out to this side and up, and we're gonna send the plastic to this side and up as well. So this is kind of the conventions we're gonna have is we're gonna have space for water and sulfuric acid pumps up the side here, and we're gonna have space for other inputs up this direction. So we'll see how that works out for us. Okay, then we need to crack the heavy oil. So that extends that there. I'm going to see where this all has to go next. We then need to crack the light oil to make petroleum gas. We should have flipped this so that we can just do that. And then we need to make plastic, which means we can connect that. Then we need coal. And where do we want this to go? I mean, I suppose this could go here. Well, let's see. I want this to be, so we're going to need sulfur something over here. The sulfur and carbon stuff. Can I get this? If I get this up here, I can, okay, I can get this high enough. Okay, I think I like this. So then this can be the coal synthesis. We can get, let's see, maybe it's easier to get it here. If we do that, then we may as well get this here. Sure. Okay, so then water needs to go in there, it needs to go in here, and I think I want to connect that as well, so it's just water everywhere. And then we need to be able to get the water in here. Do I want to do it that way? Maybe I don't. Because I think what I want to do is move this stuff over one. because then what I can do is I can do this, and then this thing doesn't have to stick out up here. Okay, I think I like that better. I'm gonna move you back one. So that's good. We need the water to go here. Let me just connect the water like this for right now. Okay. We need to get coal out of here. And we need to feed it into both of these things. Coal and coal. So that looks okay. Okay. We got water in here. That's fine. We do need to get this stuff, so I guess we'll just remind ourselves that that's coal, which means we can get the plastic out this way. Where's the plastic? And we could just do something like this to say that's the plastic. Okay. All right. I think I like that. All right, now let's talk the sulfur crushing here. So coal synthesis as a recipe takes 1 sulfur and 5 carbon. So we're going to need to do the advanced carbonic crushing, which produces 2 sulfur and 5 carbon. So in other words, 1 carbon asteroid makes us, what is this, 1 coal? Makes 1 coal. 1 carbon asteroid for 1 coal, plus 1 extra sulfur. So we have to be able to get rid of the extra sulfur. So we will need to pitch that extra sulfur overboard at some point when we do that. And then I'm actually going to separate out the sulfur and the carbon. For reasons that I think will become apparent later. I don't know. Okay. Is that it? No, I don't have the lubricant out of here yet. Which I can do like this. Okay, that makes a lubricant. And then I'm going to just put this guy here. Okay. All right, good. Let's see, these are going to be ice. Okay, so far, so good. All right, now we've got crushers on 2 sides here for the asteroid belts. So, I mean, it's a good question how to manage this. I think because I think what I want to do is I think I want to route this. I think this has to come over here, loop around, and go back, except that's not the right one. Okay. Okay. Which means these guys have to come down at least to here. All right, I think this is what we want, because down here, what we're going to do is we're going to say asteroids in. I mean, I guess we don't accept all of these. This one only ever does oxide ones. But I don't know. I just kind of feel like this one only ever does carbon ones. And then what it means is that we can get any extra chunks back out of here like this. We can, nope, that's not right. These, I do want asteroid chunks out this way. And I want asteroid chunks out this way. And because these puts on both belts going both directions, that does put it on, essentially on both sides of the asteroid belt. Okay, good. Now we have to get to, I guess now we can fill in this stuff. Okay, very good. Right. Now we need to do a couple of things. This one is going to do, let's do this one first. This one's E. The only thing we need here, because I think otherwise we just want this stuff to run till it backs up. Well, this one will have to be controlled. So I guess we'll need to remember that. We do want, we'll just connect our green wire that eventually goes back to the hub. And this will be, you know, I don't know. You can have 50 plastic? I don't know, something like that. Seems legit. Okay, so now what do we want to do here? What we want to do is I think we can crush these asteroids as fast as we want to, as long as we throw one of the sulfurs overboard. And so I think we can do that by overriding the stack size here to say 1, and overriding the stack size here to be 1. So that way when we crush 2, then what we can do is we can connect these two inserters, and we can say, you are going to read your hand contents. It should be the case, as we said, that these inserters are only sticking stuff in here when they can. If I have picked up a piece of sulfur, and I can only pick up one, if I've picked up one piece of sulfur out of the crusher to put it in here, then I can also pick up one piece of sulfur here to pitch it overboard. And so that would be that I can see the one sulfur in the hand of the other inserter is when I'm going to be activated. And I think that keeps our sulfur and carbon in kind of perfect balance here. All right. Next, we have to think about, let's see, there's going to be, well, let's see. We're going to, oh, and that's, I think, it. Okay, now, here, we have to look in sort of like several places. So we need to, I think, look inside the refinery. We need to look at what this inserter is holding. I think we need to look at what's inside this chem plant, what's inside what this inserter is holding, what's on all of these belts, and what this inserter is holding. Phew. Okay. Wow, that's a lot of stuff to go look at. All right, let's make sure we can do this. So we want to read what you're holding. That's fine. We want to read what you're holding. We want to read your contents, but I don't care if you're already crafting it, because I really just care about the stuff that is not yet being crafted. And then same thing for you. I need to see how much ice you have inside here. Okay, I think that's everything we need to do the recipe switching. All right, so let's come back here. Let's get ourselves, is this the recipe switcher? This is the recipe switcher. Okay, back here. Now, let's see, where do we want to put this? How about there? That seems fine. I think we can update this because the recipes in the crushers, like they only, max 2 seconds, I think, between advanced. Well, let's take a look. This one takes 5 seconds, but the recipe will start as soon as it gets a chunk in. And it's the same chunk anyway, so I think it's fine. Why don't we just, I think we can update this to be a little faster. I think we can do 200. Well, let's just do 2 seconds. That's 120. Okay. Good. All right, now we need something that sets recipes. So that is going to look like our 2 recipes of interest here are this one and this one. Okay. We put this in here. And then the things we're going to look at, we need this green wire, and we need this green wire. Okay. Right. So what are we going to do here? So we're going to say if it's 1, that's the basic recipe. Well, let's do 2 first, because I think that's easier to reason about. So let's do 2. This is when do we want oxide? When do we want the advanced crushing recipe? I think we want this just if we can't, well, let's see. How much does this need to run? It needs 2 calcite. So if we don't have 2 calcite in there, we should definitely be crushing. Okay, so then this is a pretty simple case here. Calcite. Less than 2. Output the each. Or when do we want the basic one? Well, we want the basic one only if the calcite is greater than or equal to 2. So we don't need any calcite. And I think just ice is less than 5. Right, so as long as we've got room for 5 ice in here somewhere, right? 5 ice is, I think, plenty for here. We can certainly fit 5 ice on this belt, plus the other stuff. I think that's fine. I think that's enough. We're going to produce 5 with the basic crushing recipe, so I guess we could have at most 10. This can hold... there can be 8 here. And so 8 plus, and definitely we could have 2 in here. So I think that's okay. Right. So then, that I think is okay. And these are mutually exclusive recipes because of these two things. So only one of those will be active at a time, which means we don't have to select between them. So we can do our regular set recipe here. And we can do our look for the done signal here. Like that. Okay, good. That takes care of recipe. So then when do we need this? When do we need this to be active? I'm going to say we want this to be active if the ice that we have over here is greater than 8. Greater than or equal to 8. Let's do that. If that's the case, anything extra, we should just pitch into the void, I think. Okay. I think I like that. I think I like this pretty well. Let's see. You take a... if you're running full speed, which you won't be, but you'll take a fair number of solar panels. So I guess we can, like, tile some solar panels through here as well. And I guess if we do them here, then there's room for some accumulators in this area as well. So, okay, I think that's good. But speaking of power, I think these are, I think we should just put efficiency modules into these things just to keep the power envelope lower for the time being. We are limited to run on solar power for the time being. We'll be able to get a little more juice out of the solar panels through a couple of things. One, I hope later we'll be able to get quality solar panels, so that will help. But also, because the solar panels work better around Volcanus, we can actually use accumulators to sort of smooth out the power supply on the trip back and forth between Novus and Volcanus. So like somewhere around the midpoint of the two planets is where the, I guess we can look at the space map. Yeah, let's do that. Then I can be pointing at stuff. So, right, because this is closer to the star, then solar panels work better here. You can see solar power and atmosphere 400%. So that is good. Here it's 200%. No, 100%. Right. But I think in orbit it's still stronger here. And so than it is on Novus. I want to say it's like twice. And so somewhere around the middle, we get the average. Right here, the solar panels make more. Here, the solar panels make less. Somewhere in the middle is where it switches. If we design for the power envelope, which is the amount of power they generate at the middle, and we put enough accumulators on there, then basically when we're on this side, we can be using the excess solar to power the accumulators. And when we're on this side here, we can be draining the accumulators to make up for the weaker solar panels on this side. So that's going to be the part of the idea here. But you know, it's still only solar power. So wherever we can get away, wherever we don't need speed or productivity or quality, I think may as well use efficiency modules because we can make them now. So I think that is what we want to do. I wonder if anybody were any of you going to tell me that I like totally forgot to like connect those things? Because that would be helpful to get the coal where it needs to go. All right, I think I'm pretty happy with that. This is, you know, it's a little bigger than what we had before, but I feel like it's a little easier to understand. Obviously, we have dedicated crushers for this stuff, which will help in terms of being able to produce plastic more quickly. And we can plug this in. The ship is going to get a little bigger as a result of this. But I think that's okay because I really just want to get to the point where we've got some modular builds. We're able to produce as much, whatever materials we need. And then from there, we can design the mining ships. So we're getting there. We're getting there. I think we're going to end this episode here. I think that's enough design for an episode. What are we going to do next? I think next episode, just looking ahead, I think next episode we'll look at smelting. And then we'll look at the front of the ship after that. Let's see. I do actually suppose that it would be good before we finish up here to actually defend this thing. Oh, come on. Oh, okay, wait. I can fix it. Okay, there we go. You want to go there. And then you'll move there. And you'll move there. And you get some ammo. And, I should copy that. Copy. Okay. And that's our oil processing module. So we'll take a blueprint of this. And we'll say oil processing module. And we'll create that. Let's see. I guess we'll just do a refinery for that one. Sure. So we'll put that back here. And then we'll wrap up this episode. So a couple more problems for future Mystic Fish here, but that's why we're doing the series. So that's what we are for today. So as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Until then, bye.